Hey Toby, check it out. So Bear Grylls used to do a lot of the filming on Man vs. Wild with something similar to this. Should we go see what we can do with it? Come on. You probably got to go out anyway. So if you live anywhere near the west coast of North America, you know what this spring's been like. And I tried putting my garden in right on time, as one does. However, the results are less than stellar. Got some store-bought lettuce starts here that are struggling to stay alive. Spinach plant there were like 6 in that planter. This is some kind of chard, I don't remember. It's just after a month finally starting to poke through. Got some more transplanted spinach from the greenhouse over here. Oddly enough, though, some things are doing very well, like better than expected. Just a sec while I put Toby back in the house. In the doing better than expected category, we've got the snow peas. They're coming right along. In fact, they get a little bit taller. I'm going to need to start training them to go up the fence there. And then we have this goddamn disaster. So when spring first started a few weeks ago, I had a good bunch of onions started in here and some carrots going. And then, well, Western Washington always has at least 2 winters. This year, looks like we decided that we needed to have 3. Today's the 20, well, it's the end of April, okay? Wednesday's the 1st of May. And I'm wearing a hoodie, okay? We have had so much rain that, as you can see that stake is usually not visible. We've had so much rain that it has pounded the soil down in this hugel bed. The only thing in here that is actually growing is, oddly enough, some store-bought garlic cloves that Caden's literally just stuck into the ground to see what would happen. This is supposed to be a nice big flourishing bed of bobcat cabbage. And it's not that I have soil problems or anything like that, nor did I plant anything too early according to all the authorities on the matter. The issue all comes down to, I know some people think this is a dirty word, but it's climate change. It really is. Over here, my turnips are still doing fairly well. And my parsnips have started to come up. And, you can really tell in the cold weather crops versus, the ones that are intended to be planted later in the season, but you can usually get away with. I still haven't even bothered with any of, like this bed right here is going to be some of my squash, cucumbers. This lettuce is doing well. I planted it from seed back when I started everything else. Oddly enough, I also planted some other lettuce from seed over there, and it died. And this bed is still sitting here ready to go too. Now, over here, we're going to get into something that's really a crushing disappointment. This is one of my apple trees. This is my I believe my Gravenstein. And the erratic weather, specifically 70-something degree days and nights. Well, we've had nights that were freezing, actually. The leaves on it are not doing well. I don't even know if it's rooted or not, and I'm not going to go digging in there to see. My pink lady isn't doing much better. It's looking like it might try to put off another round of leaves, or at least flower. We'll see. But I've got a hunch I might wind up losing these trees and having to start over next year. So, yeah, that's where the no budget garden's at right now. Definitely not the type of thing one wants to see when they're walking around their gardens. Now, it's not all bad. I do have some stuff out in the greenhouse that I haven't even brought out yet that is doing well. But at the same time, that is all stuff that was just being started so that it could get going a little quicker once it's brought out. Squash plants, things like that. And I know I'm not the only gardener in this area who's having issues this year. I belong to Facebook groups, online forums, the same thing everybody does nowadays. And everybody on the West Coast has been struggling trying to get their stuff squared away this spring. If you can even really call it spring. I mean, right now, I'm walking down to my shed, holding my camera, and kind of regretting that I'm holding the camera because my fingers are going numb. And it's not the diabetes, it's the cold. Okay? In fact, we're passing Grandma Landlady's greenhouse right now. Perfect opportunity to see just how cold it is because there's a thermometer in here. Ugh. Okay, so keep in mind today is the 29th of April. That's the temperature. The top one's outside, the bottom one's in here, and the little one's down in the corner is how cold it's been getting at night. Last week, before this rain rolled in, we were hitting the low 70s in the daytime and dropping down into the mid 30s at night. There is not a single vegetable that can handle those kind of wild ass temperature swings. So that's something to keep in mind when you're planning out your garden this year. you really have to watch your weather forecasts. And even then, in a lot of ways, you're still rolling the dice. Just because you don't know from one week to the next what you're going to be dealing with. So keep that in mind, you know. Figure your planting schedules accordingly. Something you can do that helps a little bit is if you rock the raised beds like I do. Now, I'll admit I did something kind of stupid with mine that basically it's a mistake that I won't be making next year. I had clear 4mm plastic over my bed, but I did a half-assed job building the support structure for it, so I had to pull it off because it was compressing everything underneath. I will be going back later and redesigning that and rebuilding it in such a way that that can't happen, so that I still have it for next year. Because, well, if I've learned anything over the last few years, it's that the new weather cycles are unpredictable, and you really do need to be ready for anything with regards to what Mother Nature's going to throw at you. So, that being said, I have other things to do today, and I just wanted y'all to be aware that, you know, you can't keep doing things the way you've been doing for years anymore and expect it to still work. You know, pay attention to your forecast, specifically your long range forecast if you have one available for your area, and watch the short range too, dailies, that kind of thing, because especially if you're on the coast, all it takes is a wind shift, and all of a sudden, instead of getting nice warm air up out of Mexico, we're getting freezing temperatures down out of the Fraser Valley because the Canadians won't keep their damn weather on their side of the fence, and you're in winter number 3. So, yeah, get out in the garden, do whatever you can, but keep your less robust stuff covered for now. That's my advice. And in the meantime, have fun and stay positive. It'll get better.